Akash says, British introduced tea to us, then we made it ours. Then we go to London and drink tea, and then we say it's not good. Ha ha, that's savage! That is savage. I think that's funny. I love that. Namaste, Lali yahan hai, kaise ho, aur aap dekh rahe hain London ki Lali. तो आज का topic है how you guys feel about me being British and how I feel about being British and being interested in Indian culture. And generally on YouTube I get probably, you know, 99% of the comments, 98% of the comments are always really encouraging, really nice. And if anyone mentions me being British, it's usually in a very supportive way, in a very nice way. And I do get a very small minority of comments that are mentioning, obviously, British rule in India. And I just wanted to use this video to sort of establish the fact that I was not born before 1947. So personally, I don't feel like I owe anything to India. I don't feel like I personally have had any involvement in that. I do, however, feel incredibly bad and guilty for what happened. I think it's outrageous what the British did in India. I think they did a lot of really, really awful things, namely partition, and I know that a lot of the problems that the British caused are still meant that there are problems today in India. And yes, I think that that's awful. I think that they slaughtered a lot of people unnecessarily. I think they caused a lot of anguish and anger in India, and I think they did absolutely terrible things and inexcusable things. My family personally weren't involved in the British Raj, and even if they did, like I would have had no control over that. And even if I was alive before 1947, I wouldn't have had any control over that. I'm pretty sure those decisions were made by high up people in politics. A bit of an elephant in the room, as it were, that I am British, learning Hindi and very interested in Indian culture. I didn't choose to be born in the UK, that just happened. No one can choose what country they're born in. I absolutely love India, okay? I love it with all my heart. I am learning Hindi with so much passion. I love travelling India. I want to move there. I want to live there for an extended amount of time. As a country, I would say that we're not terribly patriotic because of our history. I was never brought up with the sense that I should be patriotic. My parents kind of taught me that I kind of shouldn't be because of our shameful history. And when you go to countries like America, and even if you go to India, you'll see that the flag is in schools and everyone knows the national anthem, all the words and everything. And you know, in places like America and Canada, they even hang flags outside people's houses, and that's not something that we do here. The only time we really hang the flag up is to do with royalty or to do with sporting events, and that's the only time that people really get patriotic is when the football's on, kind of thing. And or the Olympics or something like that. But other than that, I think quite educated people in the UK aren't terribly patriotic because they know that we enslaved half the world, and that's why we are the country that we are today. So there we go. That's how I feel. That's a little summary. And now we're going to look at some YouTube comments and Instagram comments because that's the fun part. So let's see what people have to say about me being British. Turkey Bacha 28 says, but what is the problem in admitting the truth? Indians were having nothing to do with the world wars, but still more than 4 to 5 million Indian soldiers died in World War I and II because they were recruited by the Britishers. Britishers did partition in India on the name of religion. They sucked all our wealth. They treated Indian farmers like slaves. In your previous videos, you have many times criticised Indians and their tradition. Obviously, you should also have some courage to face criticism. So the only time that I can really think of me criticising Indian tradition was saying that Indians aren't as independent from their parents. And I said that because I know that in some more conservative examples, kids can't even grown-up kids can't do the things that they really want to do because their parents won't let them, or they don't give them the freedom to do the things that they want to do because their parents don't let them. So they need permission for everything, and I find that crazy. When you're an adult, I feel like you should be able to make your own decisions. So that's where I was coming from. I know it's not the same for all Indian families, and yeah, maybe I was wrong to criticise on that. I'm really sorry if I offended anybody on that. Raju Kurnik says, really? What did she say about Indian tradition? Tell me in detail. I have a strong doubt that this woman is malicious and she is collaborating with the arsehole Rock. Just confirms it. That Rock is going to get his ass kicked soon from someone, but currently some people are licking his ass. Raju Kurnik says, at London Key Lali, why is British media so anti-Indian and anti-Hindu? All the Western media is, by the way. Who controls them? The Vatican, Jews, or Muslims? By the way, we do not need money. We have plenty of them. We want something else from you, which we get with or without money. Hee hee. That sounds scary. Akash says, I think the best thing I like about the British is their sense of humour, which Indians are losing day in and day out. I think I have to disagree with that. I think that Indians have a really good sense of humour. I think sometimes the British sense of humour can be a bit dry and sarcastic, which doesn't always come across well. And British humour, yeah, can be misinterpreted, whereas Indian humour, I think, is much more light-hearted and fun. So, yeah. Deepak says, London Key Lali, as you mentioned that you do not like that Indians' parents do not give independence. First of all, we respect and love our parents the most in the world. For us, they are God, so we do what they say because God always thinks best for his followers. Shame it is not in your culture, so this is why you meet your parents only at Christmas and abandon them at an early age and vice versa. We give respect to everyone. That is why your forefathers came to India to do business, but crooks made fool of our innocence. Get your facts right. Indian youth is much more independent than West in every case. If sleeping with someone at 12 or leaving your parents at an early age means independence, then I think you should delete parents. Word from the Oxford Dictionary. Oh my God. Deepak, I think I've really offended you. I'm really sorry about that. I definitely don't think people generally sleep with someone at 12 in this country. I think it's more like 16, 17, 18, maybe even like 20. Probably even more than that, I guess. I think nowadays youth are actually waiting a lot longer to sleep with people. And I visit my parents like once every 2 months. I don't live in the same city as them. I don't live with my parents, and I think that, you know, I have a good relationship with them. I visit them often. I visit my grandmother as often as I can, and I speak to them on the phone every week for an hour, and I think for me that works. Barry Ryder says, but you can never forget the torture your countrymen imposed on us. Your countrymen should improve and change as humans. Your stance on lack of independence in India is partially right, but don't forget that Britishers never gave us liberty and independence. Just imagine, I enslave you for 200 years and then talk about independence. Be happy you are not being ill-treated in India. This is the spirit of India. It's way different from you colonizers. Amal replied to that saying, and there are some Indians who still have a grudge on other people apparently for no reason at all. They just can't handle the insult or someone's opinion, always finding an excuse and getting so offensive. Thanks, Amal. I then replied saying my ancestors had nothing to do with British rule in India, and even if they did, that would not be something I personally had anything to do with. Get a life, man. Amal at London Key Lali. Clap, 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 clap. Barry Ryder says, I didn't mean to insult you or ancestors specifically. There are always exceptions. I don't have any grudge against anybody from Britain. But you tell who ruled India and plundered it for 200 years. It wasn't the British, I guess. Please don't take any personal offence. This is subject to healthy debate. Peace, and I do have a life. Have a good day. Your Hindi accent is the same as Britishers in Lagan movie. Oh my God, I hate the accents in Lagan. The British accent in that movie is awful. I can't watch that movie without cringing. It's just, it just makes us sound so bad. And I hope that my Hindi doesn't sound like that. I really hope not. Rupendra. About British rule, you don't need to feel guilty as you are not responsible for the past. Let UK and India be friends now. Thank you so much. That's a lovely comment. Thank you. Arman Kumar says, British spy. And then Praveen replies, we should at least appreciate the fact that she is learning Hindi, which is an entirely different language than her mother tongue of Indo-European branch. While we Indians are disowning our own language, and most certainly spies don't make YouTube videos. That's true, spies do not make YouTube videos. Arman Kumar says, we don't want British in India anymore. It's their ancestral practice to win hearts softly and then rule the nation. Hope you remember East India Company. Yeah, Praveen, remember the East India Company? Praveen says, Dear Arman Kumar, I know our emotions run high when we talk about the past. However, this is post-colonial era. There are more Indians living in the UK than British people in India. That's true. 5% of London is Indian. I'm sure one who truly loves our country can easily fit in. After all, we say Vasudev Kutumbakam. Please, someone in the comments tell me what that means. Today's UK is not responsible for what their ancestor did. I'm sure this innocent soul shouldn't be labelled as a spy or pro-colonial individual. Peace. Praveen Kumar, my dear friend, I totally agree with your thoughts, but please look from their perspective how BBC is spreading fake news and hatred among us. Praveen Kumar, dear Arman Kumar, thanks for agreeing with me. Media is always biased, be it from any country. India is not shown in positive way except few occasions. They work with the agenda of negativity sells. I work with people of different nationalities. Normal people of all countries are nice, but they can't be blamed if their country media is bad. Had we been serious about foreigner press, we couldn't have pulled million people out of poverty. People like Lali, as example of people-to-people connection, can change image of a country and promote harmony among two cultures. Now let's hope she joins BBC and makes some positive documentaries on India. Amit Sharma says, it's very interesting to see a Britisher talking in Hindi. One day you will speak Hindi fluently. बहुत धन्यवाद और एक दिन मैं पूरी हिंदी बोलूँगी. मुझे आशा है. Navindra says, Britishers ने पहले India लूटा, अब दिल लूट रहे हैं. Yes, I am looting India now with my heart. All the way. Siddharth Roy says, at least some British people feel guilty about the past. Lol. Yeah. Kumar says, I still don't know how I feel about you being British. Anyway, welcome to the motherland. I wonder how it would feel for someone if they came over to London and I turned around to them and said, you know what, I don't know how I feel about you being Indian, but welcome to London. Binary Eagle says, I never asked for a selfie to any foreigner in my life. Like, it's a hell shame for us citizens to still be under slaves of our mind, that anything foreign is superior. While a few know that India outstanded all countries one time in history, culture and immeasurable wealth. A wealth so much that there were even stories of cities of gold. And yes, those British from which we want to take selfies with looted $45 trillion from India, making it from richest country in the world to poorest and destroying our culture, education and Vedic civilization. We are still slaves to them. Let's get free from this. We ain't slaves or beggars. These guys who looted us are the real culprit thieves. Jai Hind. Abhishek says, what is happening with the world? I am an Indian studying English honours and our Indian society is obsessed with English language and Britishers are learning our culture and language. By the way, anyhow, it's increasing love between people of different countries and that's good. And you are really looking so beautiful in your Indian attire. Oh, thank you so much. Nikhil says, you are the sweetest Britisher I have ever seen. Keep up the good work. And yeah, please, Hamara Koinor Vapas Kardo. Yeah, I wish I could bring back the diamond. I don't think I can, but if I could, I would. Akash says, British introduced tea to us, then we made it ours. Then we go to London and drink tea, and then we say it's not good. Ha ha, that's savage! That is savage. I think that's funny. I love that. Good comment, good comment. So I just want to summarize that obviously no one can change the past. No one can undo what happened. I personally feel very guilty about what happened. But there's nothing I can do about it. And if I could, then I would. But I can't. So from myself, I just want to say sorry about what happened. However, I personally didn't do anything. So there we go. I hope that clears everything up, and I'm looking forward to seeing more comments on what people think about me being British below. And, you know, I can expect some criticism as well, so let's see what happens. Anyway, dehek na kiliye dhanyavad, thumbs up DGA or subscribe KGA, or add me on LondonKey_Lali on Instagram. Thank you so much. Bye.